It's a lot of man. Let's go. Socialized medicine, I would make sure that we had.
Oh yeah.
That'd be one thing. I would. So much is crazy. I'd make I'd fund arts a lot more. I think that in American schools, music programs getting cut are the very first thing. Arts programs are the first thing. I'd pay teachers more money.
Yeah.
Teachers don't get paid. Whereas, entertainers get paid obscene amounts, except for us.
This interview took place in the year 1999, and yet...
In America, we have violations of the antitrust law constantly, with Microsoft, with the whole, remember Pearl Jam taking on Ticketmaster? The guy that owns Ticketmaster is the partner of Bill Gates from Microsoft, and I believe that can lead to fascism, and I believe that leads to a tearing down of democracy when corporations take over everything. We've just come from a music merger where there's now only 4 music companies in the world, folks. 4 companies, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of those companies, Sony, who we actually like, make all the electronic gear. This is a Sony camera.
Right.
So there's such a violation. I mean, it's like a corporate world. You're going to be looking up at the Milky Way, and it's going to be called the Philip Morris Milky Way. It'll be called the Sony National Forest. I mean,
right.
Your town, Berlin's going to be renamed, I don't know, Exxonville. You really need to watch out for it.
It has aged like a fine wine. That was famed rocker Courtney Love. And however you may feel about her, she was spot on there.
Do you have any advice for a young girl moving to Hollywood?
I'll get lively with us. Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party and 4 seats and stuff.
And she was spot on here. With that first example, that first piece of video about how corporations lead to fascism, Professor Richard Wolff would have a say.
There's a quote in the question from Benito Mussolini, the fascist leader of Italy back in the 20th century, who said that fascism should better be called corporatism because it's a merger of the state and capitalist corporations. When capitalism, in its, let's call it, normal, non-fascist form, dominant in Europe, say, across the 19th and then 20th century, when that kind of capitalism, characterized by private enterprises, owned and operated by private individuals and groups of individuals, confronting a mass of employees, some of whom they exploit directly as productive workers, and others of whom they hire to provide the conditions, the framework needed for the productive workers to produce the surpluses that the capitalists get. In that kind of, let's call it, private capitalist system, it is, of course, and quite clear from the historical record, very important for those private capitalists to have a sympathetic government.
And thus, when the corporations have a very sympathetic government,
it's not too extreme to call our system of government now American fascism. It's the control of government by big business, which Franklin Delano Roosevelt defined in 1938 as fascism, and they control the government and turn the government to their favor, subsidies, handouts, giveaways, deferred prosecutions, non-prosecutions, and against the American people. And minimum wage is just one. You have full Medicare for all, which a majority of doctors and the American people want, with free choice of doctor and hospital. We're the only Western country that doesn't have it. 800 Americans a week die because they cannot afford diagnosis and treatment for their ailments. That's 800 Americans a week, 45,000 a year. We have the greatest amount of consumer debt. We have the highest child poverty, the highest adult poverty, huge underemployment, a crumbling public works, but huge multi-billionaires and hugely profitable corporations. I say to the American people, what's your breaking point?
that is a good question from former presidential candidate Ralph Nader, isn't it? What is the breaking point exactly for Americans?
I firmly believe that we are facing fascism in this country. Historically, the only thing that's ever beaten that is a broad-based working-class coalition. We need to rebuild the old alliances of labor unions, community organizations, immigrant rights groups, civil rights groups, and political organizations to build power the old-fashioned way, from the ground up. Because in a society where organized money currently holds all the power, the only way we fight back is by organizing people.
Graham Plattner, Senate candidate in Maine, who is trying to unseat MAGA Republican Susan Collins, would speak on it. We should remember, in the 1930s, Hugo Boss made uniforms for the Nazis. IBM supplied the numeric codes tattooed on those ushered into the gas chambers. And Bayer, the aspirin company, is the reincarnation of IG Farben, a huge donor to Nazi political campaigns, a manufacturing beneficiary of Hitler's invasions of European countries, and a shareholder in the company that produced the gas the Nazis used to exterminate millions of people. Do I feel the same way that Courtney Love does in this one example of how there is corporate fascism? And, some of her comments about how corporations being unchecked can lead to fascism. My answer is yes. 100% yes. I think we saw it in years past. I think we are seeing the wheels being put in motion right now. Because let me ask you a question. First off, these ghouls have shown they care about nothing else than the bottom line. They care about nothing else than profits. We have legalized slave trades in other parts of the world. Many people have spoke on cobalt, right? And how it builds cell phones these days. We have seen the mining taking place and the cost that it has on our fellow man. Do you think they care if we are enslaved to their agenda to make more? I think not. You're trying to question the moral compass of a person who doesn't see you as an equal, but rather what you can produce for them. You have a value to them, either as a worker or a consumer. They don't see you as a human being. They see you as a dollar sign. That is why I believe that these companies are not going to act in good faith. Why would they? That's not their goal. Their goal is to make the most amount of profit possible. It is for the board to get paid. It is for them to have another jet, another yacht, another sports car, another private island, another helipad, another helicopter to go along with it. That is why this happens. Because there is no limit. It's rather endless. And if we have to be taken advantage of, starve, die, so they can make more, they'll do it. And they're going to continue to do it. That is why, as I've said, a million times at this point, the only way forward is for a united working class. The direction that we are going in, it's not sustainable. It's not. And what they will also do is replace you. They would love the opportunity to do it. So you could be living on the streets. They don't care about you. They never have, and they never will. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.